Hello friends, welcome back to the Book Graveyard Vintage Genre Fiction channel here on YouTube. We're also out there in the podcast world. Got a very special video today, one I've been waiting for almost 2 years now. And what is that? It's the reissue of Riptide by Fathom Press. Out today, it's release day, May 22nd, 2026. Available for purchase at this moment, not a pre-order. And what is Riptide? Riptide is the reissue of this 1984 Zebra book. Shark action, hurricane action. It's got a lot of stuff going on in here, and it's insane. So if you've seen my channel before, watched me do a review, I normally do a very in-depth setup. Then I give kind of a general plot synopsis, and then give my opinion on what I thought about it. But with Riptide, I feel like I can't do it because Riptide plays it fast and loose. So we're going to kind of copy that style, touch on general points to it. Because, I mean, really, if you... The book is about ex-St. Louis cop gets a new position in Surfside Beach Town. He has a plethora of fine-looking ladies to choose from. He has to catch a rapist on a nude beach. And there is a tiger shark eating people, but in the end, it doesn't matter because there is a hurricane coming, which is going to kill like 90,000 people. Crime, horror, sleaze, and disaster all rolled into one. When I made my top 10 80s horror paperback video, this was number one. This Riptide got crowned the king of my 80s paperback collection at number one. And in hindsight, looking back, probably not fair. That was probably unfair to the rest of the horror books. In fact, when I shared the video on the retro horror paperback art Facebook group, there was one comment when they said that it's supposed to be a top 10 horror list, not a top 10 schlock list or trash list. Something like that. Usually a comment like that, man, I go nuclear. Like in my brain, explosions, bombs falling, carnage everywhere. But, you know, I actually had to stop and think and be like, they got a point. They got a point. It is kind of unfair to put this at the top of the horror list as it is really a schlock. It's schlock. It's a B movie. It's a B book. It's not groundbreaking. It even mentions like Jaws. It even mentions Jaws multiple times in here. It knows what it's doing. But I'm pretty sure that Donald Cheatham really meant it when he wrote this book. And what does that mean? He didn't sit down to write microwave sharks or sand sharks or even Sharknado, which, by the way, I have a theory that whoever wrote Sharknado has definitely read Riptide because there is some scenes in it that are at least an inspiration for Sharknado. But I think when Donald Cheatham sat down to write this book, he was going to write about his experiences living in the Gulf Coast. He was going to write about the small beach community that he lived in, the wildlife that surrounded the beach community, and then the ever-present danger of the hurricane. I'm sure the people that live in Florida think about it all the time. Got to be prepared. The hurricane may come. And he took those three aspects and he built this kind of wild, random story. Riptide isn't Jaws. It's not Cruel Jaws. It's not The Last Shark. It's its own thing. It's ridiculous. It's bloody. It's horny. But most importantly, it's not self-aware. It's not Sharknado. It's not being like, look at how ridiculous this is. He sat down to write a hit. I don't know if he was thinking it was going to be a hit, but he poured his heart into this, is what I'm saying. And that's what makes it charming. That's the appeal to it. It's like a good, bad movie. It's like in Mystery Science Theater, like the best movies. Final Sacrifice, Time Chasers, their heart and soul was poured into it. They didn't execute it maybe in the best ways. When you stop and look back on it and you see how real it is, it makes it not only enjoyable but accessible and understandable. Like, this is something that I could have done, I could have been a part of, and I just appreciate that almost amateur aspect, I guess. So Don Cheatham, this is the only book he ever wrote. He wrote mostly for his local newspapers, all the newspapers around Florida, and I don't know, this was his one chance, and I love that underdog story. I love when someone just throws it all in, goes for it, and this was him going for it. And this is B book royalty. That's what he churned out. You know, I love it. You're about to see if you can't already tell. It's the best fun bad book I've ever read. So our hero in Riptide, and I use that term in the loosest possible sense, has a backstory that could be its own action-packed crime thriller, and we just get this in backstory. We don't get to enjoy the whole moment here. So Michael Stark, our hero, was a St. Louis cop who kind of goes on a one-on-one manhunt battle with this serial killer sniper. The serial killer knew Michael Stark from, I think, Vietnam or something, and he feels that Michael Stark did him wrong, so he starts massacring random people in St. Louis to punish Stark. And so this giant case, it has a lot of publicity. They wrote a book about him. They made a movie, and he kind of leaves his family. He leaves that life. He doesn't want to be a part of it. He takes a job as a cop in a small beachfront town called Surfside. So basically, Riptide is the after story of this tough-as-nails cop who went a one-man army against a psycho killer. He's now taking it sleazy in big titty bikini land, sort of battling a giant tiger shark and surviving a devastating hurricane. First two chapters, short and sweet. Chapter 1, we get our first shark kill. A man is sitting on the edge of a dock, completely out of the water, his feet are above the water, and then a rushing explosion of sharp teeth, shark mouth, grab his leg and pull him underwater. His screams, gurgling silently under the surface. Our hero Stark shows up at his new precinct. Yes, our main character's name is one letter off from the word shark in a killer shark book. Stark is taken aback. Not only is his superior officer, Liza Salings, a woman, she's incredibly attractive. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering, how big are her boobs? Well, you're in luck, friend, because Donald Cheatham, he's not going to let us down. He's going to let us know. 36D. And these first two chapters are the perfect introduction to this book. Here's what's on the menu. Insane shark attacks and porn stars playing the role of professional career women, and neither ever lets up. So just real quick, let's take a quick look at a sampling of the insanity that is in this book. We have a shark chomping off a person's head. We have a bus full of the elderly drown those old people. We have hurricane winds blowing people's skin right off their bodies, right off their skeletons, stand there, skin gone. We got a guy riding a shark. A guy riding, like I said, this is serious. This isn't Sharknado. He legit wrote a guy riding the tiger shark's back. We have a hurricane orgy, an orgy during a hurricane with a death count. Undercover at the Nude beach. We'll be getting more into that later. There's a shark/Stark staring contest. We've got fires, floods, tan lines, no tan lines, hammerheads, hangovers, legs, pubes, killer pebbles, orgies, guns, tiger sharks, dolls references, snakes, boobs, police work, bikinis, others than children eaten by sharks, incest twins eaten by sharks, cheating wives eaten by sharks, forests eaten by sharks who were then immediately eaten by a bigger shark. Surprisingly, lots of factual information on the ocean, sharks, and hurricanes. So if that sounds appealing to you, all that wonderful stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, just turn the video off. I'm going to go a little bit more into depth. I don't know. I I don't know if you can really spoil this book. I mean, it's a book about tiger shark attacks, this guy getting laid, and a hurricane. Like, there's not a lot of surprises plot-wise, but in insane incidents, there is a lot of surprises, so I don't want to give too much of those away, because the ultimate joy in this book is you never know what's coming. You never know what's coming next, and I don't want to ruin that for people. So if this sounds great, you're like, man, I want to check out more of this, it sounds fucking crazy, stop right now. Don't watch anymore. Go to fathompress.com, order this book, get it, read it, then come back, and then we're going to get a little bit more in depth. I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about what's in this story. Now, if you are still on the fence, you can still enjoy the rest of this video, because I'm telling you, you can't spoil the book. And I really want to talk about the nude beach scene. It's not even a question of want. I have to tell someone. I have to tell someone about this scene. It's just one of those things. All right, so here we go. Light spoilers moving forward. You've been warned. So after we get our character introductions, then we immediately get Inspector Sailings, his superior officer, his partner. We get her in this tiny little bikini, and her and Stark get into her yacht / houseboat, and they drive out to an ocean crime scene. There is where we kind of get our first encounter with the shark. They see the giant shark go under the boat. Back in town, we got Stark at his condo up on the 20th floor with a pair of binoculars. Oh, what's down there? Oh, it's Nude Beach. And he zooms in, we get a close-up of an attractive naked lady playing with her pubes, and he gets really turned on. So what does he do? He calls Sailings and says, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm new in town. So they go to this bar, and at this bar are some friends of hers who just happen to be 3 22-year-old babes who all want Stark. And he's a good guy, though. So we're talking about an honorable fellow, so he only takes one of them home, which I thought was nice. It was wholesome. A couple days later, Stark is really interested in this nude beach. He wants to get back there, so he just walks down there. And while he's hanging around with clothes on, he discovers a body part in the ocean stuck to some driftwood. So they take the body part to the medical examiner. So when Stark goes down to the medical examiner, he walks in, and surprise, surprise, it's a lady. And she's attractive and very flirty. She tells him that he's in luck. There's a shark expert in town. Looks like a shark attack. The shark expert can tell you more about it than I can. Go talk to this shark expert. Now I want you guys to hang on to your hats here. Something's coming that you're not expecting. That's right. She's a hot lady. She is a super hot shark expert lady that is very interested in Stark. Oh, he takes notice that she is wearing a thin, low-cut dress, and much to his delight, he can see that she was suntanned, but doesn't have any tan lines. Hello, nude sunbathing Dr. Shark expert. As you can see, this is a very horny book. Everyone in this book is hot to trot, ready to get it on. From the very first chapter, we get the looming threat of this giant hurricane approaching. We start to get chapters from the Weather Institute perspective. And I'm no meteorologist, but I gotta say that this sounds legit. I think that this might be the kind of stuff that Donald Cheatham was writing in the newspaper. I know he wrote about like wildlife and stuff. So there are actual like legit biology and scientific and weather facts in this book that I think are correct. Like I said, not a meteorologist, not an expert myself, but it sounds pretty damn good. Also, in Cheatham style, pure Cheatham right here, we're at the Weather Institute, and it's very professional, this hurricane coming. It's like a disaster movie, you know? You got the different factions, stuff's happening here, stuff's happening there. For some reason, at the end of this big, long chapter of technical hurricane jargon, there is a woman who is at the Institute, works at the Institute, who wants to get the attention of her male coworker. So it's states how she is wearing a shirt without a bra, and she's just kind of jiggling around, hoping that this guy's gonna notice. At the end of this chapter, it's insane. It's insane. Why? But what about the kills? What about the kills in this book? So let's take a little sampling. I got two of the, I don't know, 30, 40 shark attacks in this book, just to give you a little taste of the writing, a little taste of the style. Chucky never knew the tiger passed less than 2 feet below him on the first pass. He felt a brief, sharp pain in his stomach and groin and thought for an instant that something had hit him. He was right. On the second pass, the tiger had opened and protruded his jaws, jutting out the rows of curved teeth that slashed viciously at his victim. The shark wasn't feeding, he was attacking. The pain intensified, and Chucky reached to his middle with his broken arm. Painfully, he ran it from his chest to below his waist. Chucky was sick. The rows of serrated teeth had opened his abdomen like a surgeon's scalpel. His severed penis and testicles slid down his pant leg as he tried to hold his intestines inside his body. They were hot and oozing around his hands as he slipped from consciousness and sank beneath the water. So we got some shark biting testicles off. And then, let's see. Oh, Grandma. And then let's see what happened to poor old Grandma here. A 12-foot hammerhead. Oh, this is during the hurricane. So this isn't necessarily our cover Riptide shark, but the 20-footer. This is just some random hammerhead during the hurricane. A 12-foot hammerhead raked an elderly grandmother. Why has it got to be Grandma? Raked an elderly grandmother across her buttocks, slicked down her thigh, and opened her leg like a buzzsaw. The giant tiger followed. There's our star. The giant tiger followed, snapping off the bleeding leg. A 5-foot bull ripped a soccer ball bite out of her side. So Grandma got it from 3 different sharks. Pretty cool. During the hurricane, there are many inventive and hilarious kills. Here's my favorite. There is a group of people who are partying. They don't think that the hurricane's really anything to worry about, and they're kind of holed up in this bar. And for some reason, an orgy happens. And while everyone is naked and frolicking, there's a woman on a pool table, I'm assuming, and a guy on top of her. I was about to do the motion. Let's not do that. There's a guy, on top of her, doing the thing, and a sudden gust of wind blows the door open, and with it, everyone goes flying. The naked lady up on the bar dancing flies into the mirror, smashing all the glass, and the couple that was fornicating on the table, he goes flying forward, and she is so in the moment that doesn't realize that he's gone, so it's just her pelvis going up and down as his head smashes into the concrete. What did it say? Stoned and unaware, the pool table mother continued humping vacant space for a minute after a coconut had been ripped from her body and slammed into the concrete wall. His head exploded like a dropped watermelon. Coconut was the guy who owned the bar. So the hurricane is where I imagine that Sharknado was inspired. I think it was. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just throwing theories out there. Book conspiracy theories. Because I don't know if this was like Florida urban legend or Donald Cheathan made it up, but when the hurricane comes and the streets flood, the sharks swim into the town and just start gobbling people up. So you would think that this would be a real thing. That's why I think it's like an urban legend. I looked it up, I looked into it, and there is something called a hurricane shark, but they describe it as equivalent to Bigfoot. Like, it doesn't really exist, and there's this footage, these videos, and these pictures, but they've all found to be fake. So I think that's why they call it the shark Bigfoot. So yeah, just Google hurricane shark, you're in for a treat. But I don't think that it exists. So if it didn't, maybe Donald Cheatham invented it. So that's pretty impressive. That's a cool little facet of this book, if that's true. And then finally, your friends who are still here. We have the Undercover at the nude beach scene, my favorite part of the book. So though our focus so far has been on this gosh dang shark gobbling people up and Detective Stark walking around with a boner, for some reason the police chief pulls Stark and Salings into his office and says, hey, you two, there's this nude beach rapist out there still. What are you doing? Now, this is the first time that we've heard about it, but he talks about it like it's an ongoing thing. So, okay, whatever, let's go. Gotta catch this rapist at the nude beach. So Stark and Salings need to take care of business, and the first order of business is to go down to the nude beach and get some clues. Now, obviously, you can't be walking around with your clothes on the nude beach. You wouldn't be undercover. They would know you were cops. So you guys are going to have to get naked. And there's a lot of beach. A lot of beach for the two of you. So we're going to need you to go ahead and grab super sexy Hispanic officer Juanita Hernandez to go along with you. Down at the beach, Hernandez pops it all off. As soon as she's get there, she's got no qualms about this assignment. Stark is next. He gets naked. Salings is last. In case you're wondering, the carpet does match the curtains. We take a little time to admire all three naked bodies. Everyone is fit. Everyone is lovely. Hernandez gets the oil out, oils herself up. She tells Stark to come over and she starts oiling up his butt. And then you're like, wait a minute. Isn't this a book about sharks? Isn't there like some killer shark thing going on here? Well, yes, it is. Some beachgoers see a bunch of fins out there and they go, oh my God, shark. And they go, oh no, hold on a second, it's just dolphins, everyone relax. And everyone turns except for this little boy. And he's still watching, and he sees a giant shark come up and just gobble up a dolphin. And he goes, shark, and they go, no, it's dolphins. And then there is a 5-year-old girl sitting there with her beach pail, playing in the water, and she starts smacking the water with the shovel, because she wants the dolphins to come over and play with her. Wait, hold on. Stop the review. Are we still on the nude beach? Why are there children on the nude beach? I think that Donald Cheatham forgot that his main characters are naked. And he put 5-year-old children playing on the nude beach. So Stark looks out and he sees this giant shadow headed for this little girl. He runs over. He's naked. He is naked. He runs over, picks this little girl up, swinging and swaying. He's got this little girl above him. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes and picture it, okay? He's naked, holding this child above him, and the shark comes up out of the water onto the beach. So there's just like a shark, naked Stark, child. He puts the child down. She scurries off, and Stark picks up some driftwood and starts hitting the shark as the shark is like chomping at air, trying to get some delicious human in its mouth. And then Stark picks up some rocks, starts throwing it at it. So this makes the shark angry. So it puts it in reverse, slides back down into the water, and then it goes out a little ways. And then Stark is walking back and forth on the beach, still naked. Mind you, they are still naked. And he somehow makes eye contact with the shark. That's where they just stare at each other. Because now it's personal. This shark has it out for Detective Stark, and he's going to get him. He's fine. As Stark walks along the beach, the shark walks along the beach. He wants a piece of this guy. Finally, Hernandez shows up with the bathing suits and the machine guns, but it's too late. The shark has swam off and seen. And there is the greatest chapter of any book I've ever read. Let's not get crazy. But it is awesome. It is the funnest thing I've ever read. So there you go. If you're not ready to buy this book today, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, if that didn't sell it, I got nothing else. So yeah, you can get it today. It's release day, Riptide, Fathom Press. I'll put the link down in the description, obviously. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.